Okay, Nate. Today, I'd like to hear your thoughts on David Grusch, the UFO whistleblower.
Yeah, well, I've been following UFOs enthusiastically for about 6 or 7 years. Now, I'll start this by saying it is my view at this stage, given the information I have studied, that there is an advanced technology operating on Earth which can't be explained within our understanding of what technology exists that we know of on the record. So, after having watched the tapes of the objects that appear, and in the videos, and having kept up to date with all the releases of freedom of information releases and declassified documents and everything I have read, I am of the opinion that there is an advanced technology operating which can't be explained. Now, putting that aside, this is the stuff that David Grusch has been saying since he came out. Yesterday I was watching the congressional hearing into witness testimonies on UAP UFO phenomenon. Well, David Grusch makes some big claims. He says that the absolutely, as far as he's concerned, absolutely, definitely, the American military-industrial establishment is in possession of crashed alien materials and potentially alien bodies. Now, I don't accept that, because the American military has denied and denied and denied that there are any crashed alien spacecraft for years, even under increasing pressure and increasing scrutiny and increasing calls for transparency. The US government has denied that there is any crashed spaceship or any materials that are from non-human origins. But David Grusch insists that he has been told, and this is the important thing, everything he claims, he hasn't seen any of the ships or the crashed alien materials firsthand. He has been told by numerous other people within the military services that he has worked for that there are crashed alien materials. Now, here's the thing about David Grusch that's interesting. Nobody is questioning that David Grusch is who he says he is. Now, he worked for the UFO investigation being run by the Pentagon. Now, the Pentagon is running an investigation into UFOs and UAP phenomenon, and David Grusch worked for the military's UFO investigation, and he is a security official. He is deeply embedded within the military in America and the Defense Department and these bodies. So nobody is saying that David Grusch isn't who he says he is. Nobody has come out and said this man didn't work for the military. He did work for the military. He did work for the Pentagon's UFO program. He absolutely is who he says he is. He is a current serving military operative in the security community. So nobody is questioning that he is who he says he is. But what we're questioning is the claims he makes. He says he has been told by numerous sources within the groups that he has worked for and the agencies that he has worked for numerous times that there are materials from a crashed alien spaceship that are non-human. Now, and he insists that this is what he has been told by numerous people and that there are bodies. Now, who cares what he's been told by numerous people? You know, this is the sort of crap that leads to this sort of nonsense while some of us are trying to get to the bottom of what's really happening, you know? So what if all these people told you that there was crashed alien materials from a spaceship? You know, they're probably just pulling your leg for a laugh. People do that. But, you know, he's come out with these outrageous claims, and what we are learning from all of this is we are learning that there is a history of secretive programs in the US government. So what we can confirm that has come out, the biggest revelations of the transparency movement happening around UFOs is that absolutely CIA, Department of Defense, the US military have extensive secretive programs investigating UFOs and many, many numerous other things. So at least now the American taxpayer knows that all this money is being funneled to these secretive programs. So now the taxpayer can say, why is all this money being funneled to these secretive defense programs? Now, it just shows how extensive the American military is. The American military is so ridiculously extensive, the amount of money they have. And I ask, is there a black budget? You know, because now we've learned that there are all these programs, and David Grusch is claiming that there are even more programs which are off the records. And the question I'm asking is, where is the money coming from to pay for these programs, these UFO crash retrieval programs, and all these secretive programs that have come out in the last 10 years of transparency in America? And David Grusch says there are even more off the record programs. And this is his big claim, is that there are even more of these off the record programs. So where does the money come from to pay for all these programs? And in the hearing I watched yesterday, one of the officials asked David Grusch, is money being taken that's meant to be spent elsewhere and being put into these black ops programs? And he said yes. So that's another claim he's made, is that money is being misappropriated from the American budget into these secretive black ops programs. So we know that many of these underground programs have existed. The question is, there some sort of slush fund or some sort of black fund that CIA and other defence agencies are accessing? And where does that money come from, because there have been many claims that the CIA runs drugs throughout history, and people know that the CIA has had a history, or at least elements within the CIA have had a history of running drugs. So where's all this money coming from to pay for all these secretive programs? Is it coming from drug trafficking? Probably, knowing the CIA's history. But yeah, what have we learned from David Grusch's testimony? We've learned that people can come out in a pretty high-ranking position with high security clearance and come out with some pretty outrageous claims that, almost saying that from his perspective, there certainly are alien craft that have crashed on the planet. So it's a pretty outrageous claim. And if he's lying, he's going to go to jail. So I question, is he just making this up? Is he delusional? Or has he really been involved with this network within the military who are operating all of these secretive programs investigating UAPs? But the interesting thing is, like I said at the start of the video, my conclusion after my 7 years of research into UFOs is that there is an advanced technology operating on the planet which can't be accounted for by our understanding of what is achievable at the moment. So, my mind is really open now. And I'm open to hear what David Grusch has to say, and I wonder if any of what he is saying is true. But, you've got to watch yourself, because some people become delusional and they'll believe what they're saying and they're off their head, so his claims are outrageous. But we'll see what happens over the next few months.